Radest, and this is my first episode of what I'm calling See You Around Town. It's an opportunity to showcase the wonderful jewels in our community. I'm here today we're at the Summit Community Center, which is located at 100 Morris Avenue, and I'm here today with Summit resident Nora and the Director of Community Programs, Judith Josephs.
Oh,
Hi,
thanks
Judith,
so
how are
much.
you?
Hey, Laura. How are
Hi,
you?
good. Thanks.
So we wanted to showcase the community center for several reasons. It is a marvelous location. It's the heart of the community, from young children to people like me to our senior citizens who come here on a daily basis to participate in various and sundry activities. The building's been around for a long time. I'll let Judith explain some of that. And the city has agreed to expand and renovate this building so that we can better serve all residents of the community. So Judith, let me ask you, what goes on here?
Oh, an awful lot goes on here. And welcome. Thank you so much for being here. You, I see here almost every day, as many of the active families in town are here all the time. The Summit Community Center was built back in 1954. With the intent that it be a recreation center. It's not an old school, it's not a renovated building. It was actually built in 54 to accommodate the people of the community. And in fact, we're about the same age, but I've had more work done than this building. Absolutely, I've had way more work done than this building. But it's a real treasure, and people have grown up here. And as we talk about it, you might say maybe some of the long-term residents will go, well, where's the community center? What's that? I know it as
The Edison Rec.
Right, and you know it as
The Rec.
Correct. But we know it as the community center. And since we started on this campaign to try to get this building honored, respected, and expanded, we called it the community center because we wanted to be a place that we all come together and share the fun, share the building, not isolate a youth center, a senior center, a special ed center. This is a center where everybody comes together and shares it. So these are the public recreation programs, everything from senior citizens to kids with special needs to educational programs, and it's going all day into the night, every day of the week. And we really have outgrown the program here. We have more than 60 programs that we offer, classroom types programs, and never mind our activities like our sports. For example, we had 700 kids playing recreational basketball, and that's amazing in a time when people say, oh, the kids aren't active enough, you know.
Now, do they play basketball in the afternoons or on the weekends? Or
they
both?
play afternoons, evenings, and weekends. So the community center in the last couple of years has really evolved to all day. It provides programs for seniors, and we've even seen that grow and expand. We've added more health and fitness and wellness. They're doing yoga, tai chi, besides the traditional things like mahjong and cards. So we do that all day.
Right.
And then in the afternoon, we have our after-school fun club, which is a drop-in after-school free program for after-school care. And it's mostly for the kids that are kind of like in that tween age, you know, that shouldn't be home alone, but it's better that they're here.
Right.
It's warm. We have good snacks, and they play. And then around 5 o'clock, it shifts again to sports, teens, adult activities. So we're bursting at the seams. That's good. That's a good thing. You know, you're here all the time.
I am, and I think people would be surprised if they went online and looked at the amount of programming that happens during the day here. Yeah. It's really unbelievable. Yeah. I mean, I know the sports part of it. With my kids playing basketball, it's crazy here. But the daytime activities are just unbelievable.
Yeah. When you're here with the kids and they're playing basketball, where do the parents hang out? What do they do?
They are crowded like sardines right here. They're all waiting, and there are lines for the bathroom. They're all over the place, and there's nowhere really. One of the most challenging things is in this gymnasium, which we'll take a look at later. There's nowhere to sit. Yeah, there's nowhere to sit.
And you know, Nora, the thing that's so exciting about this building is that, you know, Summit is a very diverse community, both culturally and economically. It's very diverse. But if you want to play and participate as a team member in something, no matter what you carry in your pocketbook, you need to come here. this is where the heart is. This is where you make friends at any age. This is when you learn to play with kids from other neighborhoods. So it's a diverse community, but they come together here, and we're really proud of that, and we can't wait to do more.
Right. And I know they also, outside, we're not going to tour outside today, but outside there's a bocce court,
Yes.
which is used quite a lot,
Oh,
I
yeah.
understand. Right?
Oh, yeah. There's some pretty active bocce ball players. And that's really one of the driving forces. What really drove this was the Summit seniors, a very active group, felt that at the end of the day, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, we were kind of shushing them out of the building, but they still wanted to do more.
Right.
So they really talked about, well, maybe we should have a senior center. And that's when we came to this idea of the community center. The big driving factor was to create a lounge for them. A place where they can gather. I talk about like a hotel lobby or like kind of like a Starbucks,
Right.
and a TV, a fireplace, always card tables up because that's still a popular mahjong, canasta cards.
And they
a
play
place,
bridge, too.
And bridge, oh yeah, big bridge group. And they could say, hey, Ralph, meet me down at the community center. Let's have a game of cards. Or maybe just sit quietly, have a cup of coffee in a comfortable chair. We try to do things like lectures and movies, but it's not comfortable in a metal folding chair.
Right.
So this would be like a little oasis for them that they know they can come here and meet friends of their age. And then in the evening shift to look, I'm in the category, I don't want to be called senior, but mature adults to be able to do some comfortable, nice programming for them in a sort of lounge environment. So that was one of the driving factors until the basketball people got involved.
Yes.
And they said, this is the one time, let's do it really right. If we're going to expand this community center, let's make it work for sports.
Right.
And that's where the gym came in.
Got it.
So it's just about everything. And our TriCAN program, which is,
Would you explain what TriCAN
Oh,
is? Because
yeah,
not everybody
sure.
really knows.
well, if you try, you can. So that's TriCAN. And TriCAN is our programs for children with special needs. And the unique thing about it is every one of the programs is taught by professionals, but manned by trained teen peer volunteers. So they're taught, they attend a class, they have in-service training all along, and they become volunteers, and they are buddies with the kids in the program, assist the teacher. And we have more than 100 kids, teens every year that are involved with thousands of volunteer hours. And that happens here too.
That's great.
Yeah.
Now, what kind of programs do these the TriCAN offer?
What don't we? You know, and sometimes Kevin Taylor's the coordinator of TriCAN, and he is fearless. He's absolutely fearless. So we started out with social skills. We started out with reading. We started with just sort of recreational activities. And then every one of the sports organizations, everybody in town has fallen in love with TriCAN.
Right.
And all you have to do is pick up the phone and say, we need, and they, if it's TriCAN, we're there.
Great.
So baseball got involved and said, we want to run a TriCAN baseball, which is before the season. So some of the kids will have an opportunity to maybe get mainstreamed right into the Summit Junior Baseball program.
That's great.
So we added that and added and added. And Kevin came to me and said, we want to do touch football with autistic children.
Right.
Yes. All right, let's try it. So it's an unusual program, but they love it. And then he said lacrosse. So I said, okay, so we're going to give sticks and balls and let them loose in the gym. He goes, trust me. And it's been thriving with volunteers from lacrosse. So that's the kind of thing that happens here.
Well, you know, I've said many times, and people in the community have agreed that one of Summit's best assets are its volunteers. And programs that are really thriving here, of course, are due to your imagination and the hard work of your staff, but the volunteers that come in and help. And whether it be junior baseball or the volunteers of the teams for TriCAN, it's really pretty amazing.
You could not duplicate the volunteer effort in dollars in this community
No,
without going into the high zero numbers, because it's an amazing effort. And people that stay even after the kids grow up. The kids are out, but they're still volunteers, and it's great. Yeah.
So your boys play basketball here, right?
They did.
They did.
They did.
Right, when they were younger.
Yes, when they were younger. I think it's grades 3 through 7.
Yeah,
maybe?
they've kind of
Yes.
outgrown the size of
The
this
size of
gymnasium,
this
and
gym.
that's one of the big
And I
problems.
know one of the exciting things is when they build the bigger gym, they could really use this as another gym in town, which is needed so badly. So that'll be great.
People don't realize, because they maybe only bring their children to one school, but every school does not have a real gymnasium.
No, that's accurate. That's right.
And people that don't live in that neighborhood don't realize that some of them are just little multi-purpose rooms. And in order to play basketball safely at different ages, you need larger courts. And
This gym works perfectly for third graders.
Right.
But as soon as the
if
kids
you have
get
700 children, and think about all those games within one league, you're using every available gym, and every one that isn't being used by high school athletics or middle school athletics is being used by us.
Right.
So we are maxed out. And the worst thing for people in recreation is to say no to a kid. And it's really hard, you know.
All right, well, shall we take some time and go on a tour?
Sure.
Okay. I'm here with Mark Ozorowski, who is the Assistant Director of Community Programs here at the Community Center. And Mark is going to take us on a tour of the existing Community Center. Hi, Mark.
How are you, Mayor?
Good, thanks.
Nice to see you. I'm glad we have this opportunity to show you around today.
I am too. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. So where we are right now, this is our lobby area, and if most families that come in here for our programs know that this area gets very, very congested when they're signing up for programs, when we have basketball in the gym. There's just not enough space in this area for people to hang out and talk and register for programs, watch games. It's very tight. And from a staff perspective, when you walk in from the front door, especially during the wintertime, the cold air rushes right in. Our office staff in the front gets cold. The lobby area gets cold, and it's really not ideal. An ideal front entrance to the building.
No, there's no vestibule. It kind of reminds me of some restaurants when they open the door and it freezes you out.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. So I know sometimes David, who handles everybody right in the beginning, he has to wear his coat on some days because it's so cold in here. So. But other issues that we have in the lobby, as you can see, and we'll get a picture of it over there, is that we have a lot of leaks that are happening, especially after the heavy snow and the rainfalls that we have. So we've got to place buckets and so forth to catch the water.
Well, that's special. What's behind us here?
And then this room here, initially when we first came over here, it was a conference room, and we were able to hold meetings and so forth in this area. Since our programs and the department has grown, they now are offices for our TriCAN. Kevin Taylor, who runs our TriCAN program. Sophie Manitz, who handles all our publicity. She's in here, as well as our part-time staff for our after-school club, fun club. So now we've got 3 offices in there as well. So it's
in the new plans. Is the administrative area expanded?
It will be, yes. And we're going to be doing some things in our current office area as well to expand.
Okay, that's great. So shall we walk over to the gym?
Sure.
Great, let's go.
Yep.
Here we are in the gym with Mark Ozorowski again and Laura Schaefer. And I'm going to ask them to talk a little bit about how this room is utilized now and what they expect it will be looking like after the renovation, which will have this room in addition to the regulation new gym.
Mark, I know among your many responsibilities, you are in charge of the youth basketball program.
Right.
Organizing it, managing it. Tell us some of the challenges about using this space for the, I think, 700 kids who play youth basketball.
We have a very large basketball program in town. As you've heard, we have about 700 kids that participate through the rec and the traveling program. This gym is used basically for children from 4th grade and lower. And it is used for basketball, partly because the court is too small. It's not a regulation court. There's not, as you can see in the building, there's not enough room for people to sit. There's not enough room off the court because the walls are so close. So from a basketball perspective, it's great to have the gym, but it's not ideal, and we can only use it for certain age groups. And basically from November until March, this is packed with basketball every single night of the week. It's packed on Saturdays as well as Sundays. But that's not the only thing we use this gym for. Monday through Friday, we have our after-school fun club, which generates anywhere from 20 to 30 kids that come here after school that play in the gym. They do homework in the Benson room, but this is their home right in here. Other than that, we also have luncheons here, which I know Nora, you've been part of.
Yep.
We have
Came to the senior lunch.
Exactly. So we've had employee breakfasts in here where we host city functions. We have senior luncheons and breakfasts in here where the whole gym is packed. We hold a lot of our classes in here, our karate classes. We hold engineering classes in here, just about everything. This room's used for everything.
And this is where a lot of the TriCAN programs occur in here, right?
TriCAN uses this room as well. We have some men's groups that come in here and play basketball. You see in the background, we've got our ping pong players. So we use this building, or this part of the building, to its max, pretty much. And you know, some issues that we do have with this gym is that it's not heated. As you can see in the corner, we have an industrial strength fan over there. In this corner, we have a plug-in heater, which basically makes the room, you know, at about 60, 65, where it's not ideal, not an ideal temperature. The windows, we also have to have the windows covered with plastic every winter because it gets so cold in here. So that's a big issue that we face.
When this gets renovated, so when you'll have the new gym, what will this gym be used for?
Well, the one thing, we'll be able to expand our basketball program where kids from 5th grade until basically high school, and even the men can come in here and play, which is great. And we'll also be able to expand our program offerings. You know, the TriCAN can get bigger, our programs will get bigger, our after-school fun club will get bigger. So it's going to be, the seniors are going to be able to use it more, so it's just going to be a much better place.
Well, it sounds very exciting.
Very exciting.
And I hope that the fundraising aspect of this is successful, because it's a community asset and we will all use it, and it'll only more and more people will be able to use this asset as it is built. So I'm very excited about that. Here we are with Tom and Laura O'Rourke, who have been residents of Summit for many years. I won't say how many. Tom served on the Board of Recreation, which is what used to be the governing body for the community center, and Laura is currently a member of the advisory board for the Department of Community Programs. So welcome to both of you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Nora.
Nice to
Thank
be
you.
here.
It's
Great to thank you so much for coming down and help us explain why we think that the community center is the heart and soul of our community, not just for our children, but for the seniors. So, Laura, can you tell me, what do you like to do when you come down here?
Well, I come down to play bridge on Mondays, and the group has grown over the last 2 or 3 years, and this room, is filled. We used to have 4 tables, then became 5. Now we're up to 8 tables playing bridge on Monday. And I know that there's an awful lot of classes that go on for seniors. I think there's 156 seniors involved, registered in the classes that are offered here at the community center. And in order to expand the classes, in order to expand the offerings, we need more time and a designated space for seniors. Right now, this building is taken over at 3 o'clock by youth.
Right.
And it goes that way until 10 o'clock at night. And so seniors are really out of here by 3. With the creation of a senior lounge in this new building, there will be a space designated for seniors all day long. It's going to have a coffee bar, a fireplace, comfortable chairs for seniors, comfortable sofas, a place where they can gather and socialize before or after a class that they may take here.
Right. So what a great opportunity. If you're coming down here, you're playing bridge on Monday from 9 to 11. You maybe bring a sandwich with you, and then gather with some of your friends in the other room.
And maybe some people would like to stay after the bridge lessons and have a game of their own.
Right.
And now there's going to be a place to do that, and not be sitting out there in the lobby, so to speak. Right. But I think just as importantly is that you see the chairs here are all like card chairs. Seniors, a lot of seniors need chairs with arms to be able to help them get up.
Very good point.
And out of, and that's what the senior lounge will offer, is comfort for the seniors and a welcoming place, so that more will come and more will stay longer.
That's
So,
great.
Yeah.
Tom,
We're
are
looking
you a
forward
bridge
to it.
player as well?
Yes, but not in the class of having the points my wife has.
Okay.
But I'm very supportive to it.
That's great.
Let me, because of your specificity of what all the various things that can be brought to bear here are, let me give you a little bit of a macro overview. Having been on a number of boards in the 45 years we've been in Summit, I've always felt that the senior citizens is kind of the, I don't want to say neglected, but I'll say it anyway, neglected constituency in town. Mm-hmm. And the reasons for that are probably many, but nevertheless, this situation is going to hopefully remedy that. The community is kind of run by a lot of very smart people who do a lot of volunteer work and so on, plus the paid administration. But they're dealing with the issues of education, their kids, their peer group, and so on. And I don't want to say the seniors have fallen between the cracks, but nevertheless, I'm not sure everybody's always aware of their needs and their requirements. This, I think, is going to do that in a comprehensive way. And you know, while I would have liked to seen it done earlier, it's better now than never. So I'm really pleased, and I think the community, when this is done, is going to view this as another asset like it has other things in the community.
Oh, I agree with you. I mean, I think we have seniors that have lived in this town, have volunteered, have dedicated themselves to our town, have raised their children here, and I think we need to be a more senior-friendly community. We owe that to them.
Yeah, we do talk about wanting to retain our seniors in Summit. We don't want seniors to be moving out. Seniors have a lot to offer, wisdom, experience, and you know, this being a central place where seniors can gather and really feel welcome, and a place dedicated to their use that is not going to be where they have to vacate at a certain hour, or they can't gather quietly, or they can't sit in the chairs there. This is really, really going to be a welcoming center.
And I think it's great. I also think that there are many seniors who enjoy seeing the children and being around children. Mm-hmm. So you'll have your designated space, but the expanded lobby will be a fun place to come and see what some of these kids coming in and out. And that's what a community center should be, right? Yes. At all ages, working and enjoying each other.
Seniors say is they don't want to move to a senior place. They like to see children. They like to see kids out playing. They like to hear the noise of children doing their daily activities. And so now there can be both. The kids can do their thing and the seniors can do their thing.
Well, I agree. I mean, I think we all know the realities of taxes in the state of New Jersey and in our community. And some people will decide to leave for various reasons. They want to be in warmer weather, or they want to be near their grandchildren in a different state. But for those who want to stay here, we need to make them feel very welcome. And this, I think, the Senior Lounge goes a long way to saying to our seniors, thank you for all of your dedication to our community, and please stay and be welcome.
And come and be active, still be active.
Stay active, exactly.
We want them to feel welcomed and to stay.
Yep. We do. Well,
sure.
Thank you, guys.
You're welcome.
You're welcome, Nora. I'm glad
we'll
to be
have
able to come.
christen that Senior Lounge together.
Thanks for asking us.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I'm here in the existing gym with Drew Maldonado, who is the co-chair of the fundraising effort to get our community center built. As Judith mentioned, one of the driving reasons behind the community center renovation was the building of a senior lounge. Another major piece of this renovation and expansion is the need for a new regulation size basketball court. So I'd like Drew to talk to a little bit about why that is needed and what he's excited about in this project. Drew.
Nora, thank you, and appreciate the opportunity to talk about the project. Anybody who's ever had kids in town, I have 3 myself, knows and has probably used the facility at some point, whether the kids be really little or growing in age. And, you know, this was built in 1954, as my recollection is. And by most standards, it's a grossly inadequate facility. It's cute, it's kitschy, but I think a lot of people feel the gym's a little bit small. The town over the last 60 years has vastly outgrown the facility. And I know there are also some heating and cooling issues. But for the most part, I think we're looking at this project as an opportunity to upgrade the town's facilities and to improve an existing facility here, but add on a much bigger gymnasium that would be full length and could accommodate the needs of kids of all ages, not just the really young ones.
Well, I'm looking around at this gym, so only younger children, it seems to me, can play here. And where do the spectators sit?
So the running joke is there's a bunch of dads who come here on a Saturday morning and play also. And I think they like the fact that it's a smaller gym. Don't have to run quite the same length. Yeah, so as you can see, and one of the danger aspects or safety aspects is there's not much room behind the hoop on the wall. So I think a lot of the dads over the years with younger kids have been worried as they grow and get bigger and stronger, there's a real safety issue. They can run into a mat, which is fine, but obviously that's not ideal. And so I think the idea is to renovate this space and add a full-size facility that'll be much safer.
Excellent. Now, can you talk a little bit about the fundraising campaign?
Absolutely.
And what the city is committed and what you were trying to develop through this private-public partnership?
Sure. Okay. So the city, I guess a year and a half ago, took a look at, I think there were 9 different concepts and settled, public discussions were had, and the town council and the mayor at the time looked at various proposals, and I think they centered on 2. And I think that the prevailing thought was in town that since it's been 60 years since anything was done for the facility, that we really wanted to try and do it the right way, because it might be another 60 years before it gets done again. Right. So I think they settled on 2. There were more expensive options, but I think this was the option that the town council and the people in town felt like was going to be the right one to pursue. It'll add a huge amount of, I think it's 11,600 square feet. Additionally, that's not all gymnasium. Part of that's in gymnasium. Part of it's a new senior lounge, which I think you addressed earlier. Yep. And then additional meeting room and spaces, dedicated space for TriCAN special needs kids. So it'd be a vastly improved facility, which I think we're all happy about. From a fundraising perspective, we have started. We've been approaching some folks on an individual basis and had some small gatherings to sort of introduce the idea to the people at large. Right. There will be a much more broader approach for the fundraising effort in the near future. But we've been kind of just sort of talking to folks on a local level, and I think we're probably almost halfway there now. The town appropriated, the project's total cost on the initial discussion was $5.7 million. The town is committing $4.5, and so we're looking to kind of, in a public-private partnership, raise the last $1.2 million. We're about halfway there, as it stands right now.
That's great.
Yep.
And do you have, there was a lead gift, I believe?
There was a lead gift, and I'm glad, thank you for bringing that up.
Okay.
The lead gift was provided by Investors Bank, and the president, Kevin Cummings, I think a lot of people know, has been very generous to folks in the town here. Right. And that lead gift was $250,000.
Wow, that's
impressive. It is very impressive. Got us off to a nice start. And we've had the benefit of having some other private donors make some generous but smaller gifts. And so we're in the process of trying to get more of those folks on board right now.
So I guess with most fundraising activities like this in a private-public partnership, you try to get a significant amount of the funds raised, and then it's really important to go out to the community and say, okay, everybody can pitch in whatever they can. We're not looking for the major gifts at that point, but rather to have everyone in the community feel that they are participating, not just in using this facility, but also in helping it become a reality. And that'll be coming sometime later this year, I presume.
Correct. Okay. Sometime later this year, and but it's an exciting project. It's something I think most people who have ever been here and had kids playing in an event, or seniors, people using TriCAN, know that this is a project that probably has to get done, and it'd be a great thing for Summit, because we have so many nice things in town that I think a lot of people look at the facility and say, why hasn't it been done already? So that's kind of how we're approaching it. We're excited. My co-chair, Jude Avellino, are excited to be a part of this, and it's a great opportunity to help modernize the town.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you. And as I said earlier, Summit's greatest asset are its volunteers, and here we have another very generous volunteer, along with Jude Avellino, and certainly the support of Investors Bank. So thank you very much, Drew.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
I'm so excited about this project. It's going to be an opportunity to expand our programs, provide a wonderful location for our seniors to gather, and a place to bring the entire community together. What do you think, Laura?
I think it's going to be a real destination for people.
I agree. From the Summit Community Center, I'm Nora Radest. See you around town.